just got it done. American Pharoah, he's just an awesome horse, and Baffert, he's just an amazing trainer. I can say that because I went to Kentucky Derbies for him. That's right. But it was just an awesome to win the Kentucky Derby again for this guy. Who thought there, over a decade, just win again. It never gets old.
Bob, you're now the third trainer to have 4 Kentucky Derby victories. You're tied with your friend Wayne Lucas and a gentleman named Derby Dick Thompson, who won 4 back in the early part of the 1900s. And of course, Ben Jones is one ahead of you this time. And your thoughts on this horse? You've had supreme confidence in him, and today he wins your 4th Derby.
Well, I mean, it's a quite a, those names are, legends, and to be in this position, I never think about stuff like that. I know Victor and I, we have a lot of history going back, and he won that Derby, and to win this Derby, this is for the Zayats, who suffered so much running these seconds since Bodemeister and Pioneer the Now, and so we know what it is to just get completely punched right in the face. And so and today, for some reason, and I could tell all week long that somebody asked me, how's the media? I says, you know what, I really feel a lot of positive energy because of this horse, because I know a lot of people are hoping, they've put their hat on something big like this, a horse like what he's done. There's a certain aura about him, and he's caught everybody's attention. I had people that weren't going to come to Derby; they wanted to come to watch him run, and I think that what we saw today, that even Dortmund, he ran a really game race, and it could have gone either way. And the 3/8 pole, I was getting a little bit like maybe he's struggling a little bit. He's never been in that position before, and like. Last night I told him to put on a lead in the paddock. I said, you know what, Victor? I don't know the way my day's going. You know what? You just ride the horse. You're one of the best riders in the country, and you know your horse better than I do. But I know if he breaks well, if he fires, you're gonna win. If he doesn't fire, you're not gonna win. So turning for home, he was having to get after him a little bit, but he's still a lightly raced horse, and so. He's figuring it out in a big way, but in firing line, we know he's a good horse, and the California horses running 1, 2, 3 is pretty impressive.
If there were any questions from the media going into, or from anyone going into this Derby, is what would happen if he had to respond to a fight, and today he got one.
Well, we knew he was going to have to, coming up here, he got a little keyed up. All the walk, the people got him really stirred up. He got a little hot. Had some anxious moment in the paddock, but he got in there. He was starting to get pretty hot. He drugged the groom and all the way up there. I mean, he was really. I didn't like what I saw, and so we finally got him in there. We got him wet down. Finally, he shut it down, and after that, he was really he cooled off. But I had some anxious moment when he was coming up there. Everybody was walking and screaming. He doesn't really like too much of that, but I was just hoping when he turned for home, I was like, just one of you get there, please. And it was like, just get there. Dortmund, he was in a great, I just love what I saw because I saw Martin was in a nice cruising speed. You've got Gary Stevens on that horse. Fireline is a good horse. And Gary's a good, has a great sense of pace, and he was on the outside of him. We were just out of harm's way. It was our Derby to lose after the first turn, and so I ran this race through my mind, and we figured Firing Line was going to be right there on the engine with us, and like I said, I'm just glad that this horse, and all week long, this super horse, what are we going to see? I read that, and I really don't like that, It's like, now you can say all you want about it, We got the most important one out of the way, and so I just feel so grateful that the Zayat family, Ahmed and Justin, trusted me with this horse, and like I said, a lot of you want to know what happened with the tail, and I think he was in the pasture one day. There was a mountain lion chasing him, and it's like the closest he could get to him, he took a bite out. But old bobtails, we call him. He just, what a horse, and I'm just proud of Dortmund. He ran a very game race, and we're here, and we could have been stuck in traffic, so that's the difference between winning and losing.
Before I open up for the press, one question for you, Bob. It's you won 3 derbies very quickly when you came on the scene, and then it's been a few years since 2002 now. You've been through a lot. You
reminded of that.
Well, I think you got the win now, so we don't have
And I don't know if I go into years like this. This is pretty. It was really, for some reason though, the pressure. I just felt a lot of, little. It was a good pressure, but there was a lot of. I know I had the horses to do it with, and so. So when and everybody that you see, oh Bob, you can't lose. I hate that, And so I don't want to hear this, see it, but I'm just really superstitious about that. And I got a thing about black cats. And the other day when I got beat the Triple Crown, real quiet, a black cat jumped in front of me. And point given, going to the track that morning, a black cat jumped in front of us. And the other day when I picked up Bodie, what happened, Bodie? A black cat jumped in front. I stopped the car so fast. I said, "What's wrong, Daddy?" There's a black cat. He just ran across the street. So I hung a U-turn. There's traffic coming. I'm not gonna continue on. I stopped. So I explained to Bodie about the black cat. So then on the Dortmund, he'd worked well. I was on the plane, and Saturday in the afternoon it was started raining. In Dortmund, I get a call from the barn. They was a little uncomfortable, like when it rained, he maybe didn't drink enough water, and he was getting a little colicky. And it was like, I told Jill about it, and right away I heard Bodie in the back, that black cat strikes again. But he came out of it, it was light, and so, but he got here, he's been perfect since. But just little things like that, I was on pins and needles all week long, and my, Bodie's, he feels it. My wife Jill, who's just like, she keeps me together. Every time I start, she just says, "Knock it off, come on, just get a hold of yourself," because it's nerve-wracking. It's a nerve-wracking business what we have to go through, and so that's why Khalid Shah, I told him, that's why your father didn't want you to be a horse trainer, because he knows he's been through it, and so it's one of those things where. I'm just so grateful that this guy, he got him there, and the Zayats are there, and it's just unbelievable feeling,
Before we take questions, Justin's got something.
I want to also thank Martin Garcia, who prepared this horse, all his works leading up to the race. Victor did an excellent job of riding him, but Martin and George, who worked him coming into the race, they really got the horse there, so we're proud of them, part of our team as well.
All right, guys, open up for questions. It's Pat 40 first. We got microphones. Remember, we're up on satellite, so if you could be patient until we get the mic to you. Pat, you first.
Victor, if you could just go through the ride, especially maybe just the last maybe 3/8, 5/8. It looked like you rode him pretty hard to get him where you wanted him.
I was just with his motion, I started riding just a little bit. And the other horse, he was kind of tough, I tell you. But I know I got him. I turned him for home. I know I just got it just a matter of time, and just nominate him, and I kind of rode it a little bit harder in the last 8 to the mount, and the last 16 I kind of know I got it done. But it's all about confidence. I went to this race with so much confidence with American Pharoah, the way he was running, the way he was winning, and especially for Baffert, the way he trained his horses, ready to go. So even a little bit more push to be a little bit more confidence to when it goes to these races, and especially in the Kentucky Derby.
This is for any of you guys. Usually don't get to enjoy the Derby a long time until everyone like us start asking about the next one. What can we expect to see from Pharoah in Baltimore?
Well, if all goes well, I don't see any reason not to go. So, so we're looking forward to it. The next one is, call it the fun one. You're coming off of a Derby high, going in there to Baltimore, and the Preakness is one of my favorite races. and we're just going to enjoy it. We have 2 weeks to really watch the replay about 1,000 times, enjoy it, and so I'm sure it's going to be tough. There'll be some good horses in there, and but I just love what I saw today from both of my boys, and looking forward to the next race. We can hear you later.
I got a big mouth. Ahmed, please talk about the history of all the seconds. You obviously came here. We all know you had a top-notch horse, if not the best horse. But talk about your psyche coming into this race with all the seconds behind you, and how confident could you be given the history?
What gave me a lot of confidence is that particular horse. American Pharaoh is very different from all the horses I had. Day one, we felt that he had brilliance to him. His demeanor, his aura, his conformation, the way he moved. And of course, that you see that in the farm. But once he got to Bob, I never, through all my years, I've known Bob since 2007. And Bob have been very straightforward, direct with me, know how we work as a team together. So we have a very open communication. And I've never seen Bob in the past hype a horse for me. And day one, somehow, this horse talked to Bob. And Bob told me, oh my God, this is something we're gonna have a lot of fun with this horse. He believed dearly in him. Then we all know we had a setback, but honestly, from my experience with any other horses, what made a lot of trainers can train a good horse, but I've also learned that it takes a special trainer to keep a good horse and not get the way of him. Bob have an unbelievable canning brilliancy of being in tune with his horses, and that is something I've never seen from a lot of other unbelievable trainers in America. So when we were all in cloud nine, seeing him training for the Breeders' Cup, we felt that he was going in as the best trained possible horse, and everybody was seeing him in the morning. But when the time for tough decision came, Bob took care of that horse and nursed him to bring him out of an injury that was not an easy injury, and come from that, and to come and take him through a training regimen that we had to make the Derby. So we don't kind of pick the races, we have to follow schedule in order to get to the point system. But to be able to do that and knowing what you have in your barn and not overdoing it, the balancing act, in my opinion, took brilliancy. So to answer the question in a very long way, I've always felt that if this horse remains sound, he would win the Derby. And I've never felt this way. All this week, I was very calm, enjoying it, relaxed. Unlike me, all this day in the morning, I felt incredible. My wife told me, you're unusually relaxed. So I'm kind of hyper guy. So how are you like that relaxed? I said, the horse is giving me that confidence. And Bob had that confidence all week. He trained on this track, he breezed on it, he was doing everything right. So now, comparing him to all the other, I came with good horses, but I felt today I came with a star. But I was very cautious of saying that because I wanted the horse to make the talking. It's not about what we feel, it's about the horse.
Who's next?
Hey Bob, how tough has it been being you with both Ali and Foreman in your barn this week?
Well, I mean, it's been, we've had a really good week with them. Everything went really smooth. Usually during the week I've come here, there's always something that will come up. They get a skin rash or something, but it's just been so smooth all the way. This morning they were fired up, a little bit maybe too fired up. They were a little bit coming over here. They were a little bit, might have had them a little bit too fresh today, and so, but I wanted to make sure that when that gate came open, I wanted him to just get it on and get with the program. So I might have just a tad fresh, but he, when you're working with horses of this caliber, you just gotta there's a fine line there. Just try not to do too much. And so after he worked a little tad fast the other day. We did it easily, but I just backed off him that week, and we didn't do a lot with him because of the other work. But now coming into Preakness, he doesn't need much anymore. So they're fit horse. My horse is very fit, so a race like this doesn't knock them back at all because they're used to it.
Toward the back here.
This question is for. This question is. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. This question is for Mr. Zayat. Obviously, a big win for senior, please. But either one. Thank you. Obviously, a big win for Pioneer of the Nile as a sire. Can you talk about just kind of getting that retribution, what the stallion has meant for you, and what this means for your breeding program as a whole?
I never really promote particular, but Pioneer of the Nile is a hell of a stallion. This is his first crop. What is absolutely pleasing is it's like you said, he's a homebred. But Pioneer of the Nile himself was a homebred of mine. And how spoiled and lucky you can get. We talk about running seconds, but here is the first horse I've ever bred that became a Grade 1 winner, the first horse we ever bred. So this particular sire have been very kind to us. Now, it doesn't get any better when also his American Pharaoh's dam is also named after my little daughter, Princess Emma. So it's Zayat blood from A to Z, and this makes it very pleasing.
Right over here.
Yeah. I don't know this Jockey. Victor, this question for you. You've been on this horse most of his starts. As you've ridden this horse, what did you learn about him with every race leading up to this moment?
I learned a lot from him. Every race, he pretty much different. But the most important thing for me, I learned about him that he was special. That I know that I come here with a special horse to win the Kentucky Derby. And I'm just telling you, last year when I was after the Derby, I was talking to Bob, and Bob, he's like, "Congrats, Victor, you were awesome." And I was like, okay. And Baffert, he told me, he's like, "You and I next year." What was the odds, huh? We'll just joke around. So there he goes, we're here. But anyways, in the paddock, I told this guy, he's like, just enjoy the show.
I actually want to comment on Victor, I would say maturing as a jock. We had, things work in a funny way. Our first jock that we had in this business was Victor Espinoza. He actually won our first Grade 1 in a horse called Point Ashley, named after my daughter Ashley. We've been only in the business like 6 months, and he gave us so much thrill in that summer in Delmar. So our relationship have evolved, but I have seen the maturity and how Victor have became even a better rider over the years. The classic example of what he have actually done in the Arkansas Derby. Victor tested our colt and took the moment to see if he can rate. And believe me, that was not the plan. We left it in his hand, but he rode with such confidence, such brilliance, that we are very, very grateful that we have him being the pilot in American Pharaoh.
Yeah, and also, one thing, before in the paddock, your wife told me, it's like, if you win, I'll cook for you. So you owe me. Yeah, she acts like she doesn't listen to me. She just, she told me. Yeah, you told me that. You owe me a dinner. A home-cooked dinner. That's it.
Kosher tacos.
I hope you know how to make Mexican food.
Oh my God.
Ron Platter down in front.
Following up though on what Mr. Zayat just said, Victor and Bob, I think in particular for you,
how important was it that he had a race like the Arkansas Derby where he showed he could rate and prove it beyond just you guys knowing that it could happen?
Very important. For me, I thought the last few times that I rode him, he was always wire to wire, and then I think it was so hard for me that just one race I would like to just follow somebody because I know I was already thinking about the Kentucky Derby. If I'm gonna be in the lead, they're gonna go after me. So it's like I always think I wish hopefully he can run, just track somebody, and the Arkansas is set up perfect for me, and that was my chance. That was it. The other one, he went pretty fast in front, and I was outside, and I'd be able to just take my chances. I know probably Bob, he was probably angry with me, but I took a shot and it worked out, and it worked out perfect for this race today, the Kentucky Derby.
You want to talk about that? Robert, you watching the stretch here.
I'm watching this horse almost go over the rail here. He won, but he was hitting the rail there. Okay. I'm back in. All right. What do you need to know?
Victor was talking about it.
I didn't
the plan for Arkansas.
I'm watching I'm trying to take notes for the next race here. I'm watching but where were you talking?
The Arkansas Derby.
Oh, the Arkansas. Oh, what do you mean? The Arkansas Derby. So
behind horses.
When he shut him down the backside, I'm watching there on my grade 1 couch with Jill, and we're like, all of a sudden he's just completely galloping. I thought, and Jill right away, oh, what's happening? What's he doing? He's not running. No, I think he's either got him shut down, or he's not going to fire today. I don't know what it's going to be for a little instant, and all of a sudden when he just grabbed him and picked him up again at the 3/8 pole, then he started moving again, and then when he turned for home, I was like everybody else watching that. We were like, wow, what a horse. But he's wowed us from day one, and he's just a horse that I remember when he won the Del Mar Futurity. I threw him in there at the last minute, and I put Victor on him. I thought, he's a little bit of a head case. You got along with the War Emblem, maybe you'll get along with this guy. And so, and after he won it, I remember I saw Victor a couple days later, and I said, Victor, you and I, we won this Del Mar Futurity. I won it like 10, 12 times. And he rode probably half of them. And I said, I don't think I ever won this race with a horse like this. He says, no, he's not. He's different, So he's always shown he's different. And today we saw it. What he's been through, what he's accomplished. 2 outs, shipping. Shipping is difficult on horses. You just can't do it with normal. And for him to ship, it's hard on him. It's hard on their system. And he still looks really healthy. And so it's a dream horse to train. I was hoping. I knew my horses would run well, but until that gate comes open, you never know. And so, but I was feeling the pressure. But once we got him out there, and I heard My Kentucky Home, I knew we're just almost there. I told him, I was like, Pacquiao and Mayweather, I know what they're going through right now. They want to get on, except they're going to get a big fat check no matter if they can. I'm going to get a big fat donut, So I was just really relieved, and I'm just, like I said, I'm happy for my family, for everybody, and the fans, and all you, the media that were so kind to me this week. It was just positive, and it's so great for a horse race, and I think we had a really good week. It was a positive day. We saw some great races. The Oaks was great to watch. The people coming in here, this place was packed. There was a buzz. It was just everything went well. And unfortunately, there's other Derby trainers that are stuck in traffic right now. I know that feeling. I've been there, and so, but I just appreciate every moment of this.
I don't know that all of you heard this, but it was a record crowd for the Derby today, 170,513. So first ever over that number. So
makes me a little bit nervous before the race.
I think Pharaoh was about 20,000 of those people.
Another point, hang on, just before we forget. want to ask about tomorrow morning, and when might be a good time for the media to come visit.
Well, we
you
booked the
tomorrow.
flight. What time do we leave, Joe? What time do we leave tomorrow? I told him
Anytime we
to book.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him don't book it too early, just in case. You know, I want to be able to do I'll be in the barn in the morning. I'll probably just sleep in my car at the barn. You know? So, Bodie, he wanted to know where we're going to go celebrate tonight.
I'm with you, buddy.
He wants to go to Jeff Ruby's. He loves Jeff Ruby's. But it's just been a fun week, and last night we were eating. I got sick a couple days ago, so I'm feeling better now. But it was just the stress, you know. I was just like, I was a mess.
Will he stay here for a while as you've done in the past? Will you keep him here and ship?
Yeah, he'll stay here. We'll ship in a few days before Preakness. We'll just stay here.
Is she checking on flight time so we know when